I made my own variation of chess, one that requires both luck and knowledge of the game to win. What I did to make such a game is I took regular, normal, boring chess, and I smashed it together with a game like D&D. I ended up with this. Now, you may be wondering, how does a game like D&D go together with a game like chess? Well, I'll explain the rules now. Oh, and please ignore the beard in the video. I did this during a charity live stream and, well, you'll see what I mean. Enjoy the video. Okay, so the way that this works, it's regular chess movements, but with a twist. Attacking requires a dice roll, and each unit has a special ability, besides the fighters, which are the pawns. And the reason for this is because there's too many of them. So you can use your special abilities once per game per unit. If you use an ability, you must take a turn in with that unit and follow the legal chess rules. If they can't move, you can't use their ability. And you cannot take a turn with that unit. Only the queen with their ability can ignore this rule. You need to roll to attack. Above a 10 hits, below a 10 misses. If you roll a 1, your unit dies. If you roll a 20, you get critical ability. Now every single unit has their own critical ability. But first, let's go over the regular abilities that each unit has besides the pawns. So, the barbarians have reckless attack. You roll 2 die and take the higher dice roll, but enemies also have advantage on you for the next attack as well. The rogue, the knight, gets a cunning action, and you get to dash and move 1 additional time that turn. The cleric, the bishop, gets healing word, and you get to target 1 friendly unit and return them to their starting position, bringing them from a potentially dangerous spot back to a very safe neutral position for you. Sorcerer gets Misty Step. You get to teleport to an unoccupied spot anywhere on the board. The drawback to this is that, like I said, you also need to control them. So if you were to teleport to a spot right next to another piece and you were to attack it and you would miss, your queen is now in a very dangerous position. The Paladin has Shield of Faith. Target a friendly unit within 3 spaces. Their AC rises from 10 to 12. They can use it 3 times, only on 1 unit at a time. Kind of like how it's, concentration. I don't know, it sounds less winnable than normal chess, mind you. I suck at chess. When I say it's less winnable, or when you say it's less winnable, trust me, when I say I'm okay at chess, I know for a fact I am better than Bailey at chess. I got massacred. It is all dependent on what you get dice roll wise. Movement does not matter if the luck is not on your side. You could go against a GM. If that GM gets nothing but ones, you will be a fucking goddamn grandmaster playing this game. That's the point of this game. It's possible for anyone to win, and Havoc will prevail. Now, with the rules and the abilities explained, all that was left was the critical abilities. But I will explain those when they come up. For now, let's start the first game where I show everyone how this game works. Alright, Bailey, you got a voice. Now you're gonna just tell me wherever you want to go. So A2 to whatever, okay? Anyway, I'll let Bailey choose what color he wants. Remember, white goes first. So, if you want an advantage, go white.
White.
Of course you do. Now, where do you want to go?
D2 to D4.
D2 to D4. All right. My turn. I am going to counter that. I'm going to go to D7 to D5. Go ahead. Your turn, Bailey. And if you need a reminder of what any abilities are, you just let me know, and I will be...
G2 to G4.
G2 to G4. This one right here. I'm going to go right here.
B2 to B4.
Move that. I'm going to block them.
E2 to E3.
So I'm going to explain how rolls work. So let's say I wanted to attack with this cleric and I want to attack this piece. So first things first, I'm going to move it as close as possible, and then I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to attack that piece over a 10 wins. All right, I take his piece. I take his piece. His piece is dead, and then I take that spot. If it was to fail, I would stay in the space right next to it. Anyway, it is your turn, Bailey.
D1 to G4.
D1 to D4. So Bailey's going to try and attack my piece. Let's see if it lets him. He takes it. Just barely, but he takes it. All right, I'm going to use my rogue's ability, this one right here. And I'm going to move up. And then I'm going to attack the queen. Do I do it? Thank fucking God. I take Bailey's queen. And I go into that spot. The next couple of turns continued on like this, with me winning every roll and Bailey not able to take a single piece since my bishop.
F1 to B5.
You're attacking the pawn. Okay. Let's see if you get it. That is a 2. You do not get it. You do not get it. My pawn will be attacking. All right, my pawn attacks. And it takes it.
Ability B1 to A3, then A3 to C4.
Let's see if you get it. Bailey does not, until one of the worst things that could happen for me happened.
A3 to B5.
A3 to B5, you're going to attack the queen. So just to explain again what happens when you roll a 20. Your unit gets a critical ability, which is different for every unit. And what the rogue gets is uncanny dodge. And what this means is for the rest of the game, this rogue's AC goes up to 15. Which means I need to roll a 15 or higher just to take this piece out. I highlighted the rogue so I was able to tell them apart, and I immediately tried to take it out. So I'm going to try. I have to roll above a 15. And I do not do it. Bailey, your turn. But my troubles did not end there. Because when Bailey went to go control that rogue once again, this happened.
B5 to C3.
Okay, you're going after this one. Another 20. Another 20. It's another 20. So it's still a 15, but we will make him even more golden yellow. And with Bailey now in possession of a very hard to hit piece, I had a lot of lost ground to make up. So we continue moving our pieces into position against each other and taking each other's pieces. And by that, I mean, I take Bailey's pieces as he tries and fails many times to take a single one of mine, while I move my pieces in very bad positions to progress the game. There was one problem though, because even though Bailey had a very long string of bad luck with that one rogue, his bad luck was bound to turn around at some point. And it was only a matter of time.
F2 to F3.
F2, F3. You're just moving him up. Nice little natural move. But unfortunately for you, Bailey, you got rid of your one defense for this pawn right here. So I'm going to attack with my bishop right here. And no, I'm not. Never mind. Go ahead. I changed my mind, apparently.
E3 to F4.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll work. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I'm going to do the same to you. Yes, I will. Fuck yeah.
C1 to E3.
Oh, you're attacking. Okay. Well, you get it. And as you can see from the dice roll, Bailey once again gets another natural 20. And doing so on the cleric gives you the ability Revivify. And what this does in chess D&D is it'll revive a random friendly unit. So, if it's early in the game and you only lost your queen, you can get her back guaranteed. But if you lost a bunch of units already, we can solve which one comes back with a simple dice roll. Yeah, not only do you get it, but you get to revive one piece. What piece is that? Okay, so I'm gonna roll a 6-sided die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Go ahead. This 6. Your pawn is coming back to life. Yeah, and we'll put him right here. Because I think this is the one that's missing. Okay. Alright, I am no longer in check. Thank you, pawn. I'll just move this guy right here. Alright, your turn. Seeing that Bailey can't roll anything above a 10, other than those 20s that he keeps getting, I knew that I needed to end this game quickly before he got it on something that would be even more game-changing. So, I end up using my other rogue's ability to get him to the right side of the board with the other one, and then I push them forward together as a pair, putting pressure on the king and eventually putting us into a really unique dilemma. I'm going to take this rook and I'm going to attack this guy right here. I'm going to use his ability and attack twice. That's first one. That's the second one. I take it. And then I go right here.
F2 to E2.
F2 to E2. I'm going to try and take it with my rogue. I'm going to try. And I take it.
C3 to E2.
C3 to E2. So we ran into the dilemma of the king being in check. Normally, you can take the piece threatening the king with another piece and be done with it. But in a game of luck like this, your attack can fail. So we came up with a compromise. You can attack with another piece or choose to move the king. If your attack with your other piece fails, that piece dies. But you have a free move on the king, making what you choose a risk, but not a complete game ender. Okay, so you're attacking this guy. And you take it. Now you're right here. I'm going to move my rook down, putting you back in check.
C1 to D2.
C1 to D2. You're moving right here. Okay, and I'm going to move my guy right here, putting you back in check.
D2 to D3.
D3. So you should just move him up. Got it. Okay. And I'm going to move my rook over here.
E2 to C3.
E2 to C3. Okay, and I'm going to move this rook down here.
Ability D3 to E2.
So he moves his king right here, and now his king has 7 AC instead of 5. That's what we're agreeing on. Okay. So technically, this guy I need to roll 15 to attack him. Luckily, this barbarian has reckless attack still. So I'm going to attack this rogue with my reckless attack, which means that I get to attack twice. So, first roll is a 19. Bye-bye, rogue. Bye-bye, legendary golden rogue. So it turns out that me taking out that rogue was the last thing that I needed to do before Bailey decided that he wanted to resign. And with that win and that game out of the way, it was time to let other people from my stream try it. And first up to try it was someone known as Matria, who claimed that she never really played chess that much before. So another easy win, right? All right, Matra, you have your voice. I will go first with my E4 opening.
A 7 to a 5. I'll be stupid.
Let me change your voice to something a little bit more feminine. How's that voice sound for you, Matra? I changed your voice a little bit.
Let's see.
How's that voice? Is that voice better for you?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, I'm gonna move my other piece up in the middle. This game started off like any other, with us setting up our pieces and trying to advance them forward, and with Matria making mistakes every now and then, really making her seem new to the game.
C7 to C6.
See.
Sorry, D7 to D6.
But something was off this game. And it wasn't just the barbs killing themselves.
My rooks are suicidal, lol.
Yeah, every single rook that you have done killed itself. But Matria started naming her pieces. And she seemed to get really attached to one in particular. Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
What? Let's go, Brandon. Yay, you fucking take my queen. Brandon, the pawn is Fred, the pawn reincarnated. He knows black magic too. Why does this pawn have so much fucking power? He stopped my rook, killed my queen. It was at this moment that I knew what I had to do. I had to kill that pawn, Brandon, who not only took out one of my rooks, but also managed to kill my queen. I'm using my my rogue's ability, so he's gonna move right here, and then he's gonna try and take this pawn right here. And he does.
No, Bernaden!
Unfortunately, I failed to realize how attached Matria was to this pawn. And it was at this moment that I knew I fucked up.
Misty Step to E4. Capture E3.
Misty Step disappears. Reappears right here. Right in front of the bishop. Lifts up her staff, points it directly at my cleric. And not only hits, but gives her a wink at the same time. Not even goddamn close. Eviscerated. Blasted off the spot. She casually walks into her place. Outraged, my king witnesses this and says, "You didn't!" And goes and marches forward, hammer in hand, gingerly walks up to the queen. And kills himself. I concede. Maitreya, you win.
This is canon.
Maitreya, you win. You win. Congratulations, Maitreya wins. Now, normally at this point, the game would be over. And in regular D&D fashion, I let her decide how she wanted to finish my king. Maitreya, my king walks up to you, and he trips on his thing, hits himself in the head with a hammer. He falls over. My king is on the ground, and he is laying there. How do you want to do this? Unfortunately, Maitreya had different plans. So Jack.
I captured King and Healing Word the Queen to establish the proper matriarchy.
You captured. Alright, so. Okay, so I know what I'm gonna do with this. So my king goes behind the Black Sorceress forever, and she just goes Healing Word back there with a piggybacking king forever.
Reverse harem, baby!
You now have the knocked out White King on your back, and you brought him back to your side. Congratulations. All right, I guess this guy's my king now. We'll draw it on him, I suppose. All right, hold on. Let's do crown.
Does Queen get more AC from carrying King?
Yeah, sure. Why not? She uses them as a nunchuck and a body shield. All right, there we go. Congratulations, new king pawn. All right. My move is to fucking surrender if I could. Jesus. My king was literally kidnapped, guys. What am I supposed to fucking do with this? Now, I wish I could say that my luck gets better and I turn this game around, but I would be lying if I did. Now, while I do get some lucky moments in, I'm gonna try and take with my rogue. I do a natty 20. So bam, I take. And my guy all of a sudden gets a golden ray of sunshine. My luck is equally just as bad in other ones. Eventually leading us to the finale of this game and what ends it once and for all.
F4 capture B3.
Yep, take. And then I'm gonna try and take back. Nope. Your turn.
B3 capture A2.
No. My turn. I gotta move my rook back. Your turn.
So is there even a reason for me to go to A1?
If you go, you're gonna be able to get a promotion, and I'll tell you how that works.
Fine, let's do it.
All right. You move your pawn down, and all of a sudden, a level up screen appears, and an option before you pops up. Multi-class? Question mark? Which class would you like to multi-class with? What would you like to turn your piece into while keeping the level 20 ability for the fighter as well? Meaning, let's say you multi-class into the sorcerer. Not only would you get fireball, but you would also get action surge. Pretty much making your piece overpowered.
Let's have some spare queen.
And with her choosing to multi-class with the queen, like I said, not only would she have the critical ability for the pawn, but for the queen as well. And just an FYI to what each of those abilities are, the pawn has the ability Action Surge, allowing you to act an additional time this turn. The queen has the ability Fireball, allowing you to target any piece other than the king and kill them outright, making this piece truly a force to be reckoned with. And then I'm going to naturally have to try and take it. I don't get it. Your turn. Only reason you don't want...
A1 capture B1.
Yeah, you do it. I resign. I'm done. I'm not playing this anymore. I'm done. There's literally no way I'm winning when you have two queens. I resign. GG's, Maitreya. That was it. I lost. I've created a monster who not only beat me, but another viewer known as Savvy Fox as well.
Burger King foot lettuce.
Can you fucking stop with the Burger King foot lettuce,
Yes.
please? I didn't see a hope in sight in bringing down this new matriarchy. Until he came along.
At Savvy Fox, stop this mindless lettuce usage.
A viewer known as Buzzsaw entered the battle to bring down this new tyrant once and for all. Question is, who would win? This game started exactly like the last one, with both players setting up their pieces and even having one of the players do this.
B3 to B4.
What? You want to try that again, Buzz?
B2 to B4 asterisk.
I got you, man. But it was clear who had the early advantage.
Let's risk it. C4 takes D5.
C4, C5. All right, that's a good move.
Oh god.
That's a
Poor-
good move. Not if I roll a nat 1 LUL.
That's a good one. Yeah, that was a good move.
F8 to B4.
However, when Matria moved that bishop to cover the middle position, she left a path wide open for the pawn to push forward and be promoted, becoming a big issue for Matria.
H5 to H6.
Oh shit.
I'm an idiot. I do random stole like that bishop movement to throw the people off the loop.
However, she wouldn't let this one piece stop her.
We only live once. Misty Step H7 captures H6.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot that was a thing.
Oh, that's bad if it succeeds.
Let's see. Oh, it not only succeeds, it takes it. Seeing this happen, Buzzsaw brings out a move that would potentially change this entire game.
2 can play at that game. D1 Misty Step to A8. A8 takes C8.
D1, Missy Step, A8. You're gonna take C8. If it was to hit. 2 could play at that game. 2 will not play at that game.
C6 captures B8.
We'll say. No, it doesn't.
D8 takes C8.
Yeah, that's it. And with Buzzsaw's queen now being a backline threat.
C8 tase B7.
Tase, you're tasing it? A 10, you just take it. Just take it.
Sorcerer pulls out a taser.
And apparently having a taser, he starts clearing as many of Matria's pieces as possible. And Matria responds with using the cleric's ability to try and move some of her pieces back to safety.
Healing
Yes.
word D5, then moves and capture A3.
Let's bring it back here. And then you're going to move this guy to A3. Okay. 2. Doesn't
Damn,
work.
she did the smart thing, no fair LUL. B1 cunning. B1 to C3. C3 to D5.
A8 to A5.
A8 to A5.
D5 takes B4 again.
Takes B4.
A5 to
Scary.
A6.
A5, A6. And with Buzzsaw's queen now in danger of being taken, Buzzsaw tries to defend it as best he can.
Fuck it, we ball B4 takes A6.
B4 attacks A6. And he kills himself. Yeah,
Clutch.
yeah, that fucking sucks
That
for
is so
you.
bad. If
Not
she takes my
now.
queen, it completely changes who winning.
Absolutely.
A6 takes C6.
Absolutely changes who wins. Unfortunately, with that queen capture, the game starts to shift. Just a little. With Matria getting some much needed breathing room, both players start preparing their endgame, moving their pieces into position to try and put pressure on each other's kings. It was at this point that Matria made her biggest blunder of all. She moves her queen directly next to the king, assuming that it would mean checkmate and it would end the game.
G4 to D1. So we buzz.
It's not checkmate because he can still attack.
Oh,
Checkmate.
right.
E1 shield and E1 takes D1.
Okay. So we're gonna roll.
Now I hope.
Yeah, you take it. Luckily, the dice were on Buzzsaw's side, and he was able to get rid of the queen and the last threat he truly had against him, allowing him to start taking most of Matria's remaining units. And both players eventually agree to a duel, making the kings verse each other with one final battle.
Let's get that King v King. I have no more hope.
You'll roll first since ITLL technically be my turn.
So white rolls first. A 17. Not a lot of hope to beat that Matria. Matria rolls. And with a 4. And with that victory, Buzzsaw wins. And in typical D&D fashion, we gave him the choice of how he wanted to end this game once and for all.
Yeah. Congrats, Buzz. You have beaten my streak.
As a wise man once suggested, I will wine and dine you for decades with decadent meals until you eventually collapse due to high blood pressure.
Alright, so this guy walks up to him, says, yo, what's up, man? Hey, listen, can we stop fighting? And your guy's like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. And then this guy and this guy are absolutely best friends. They walk off together, and they start, like, you know, chilling and shit like that. It's like, yo, you like wine? And this guy's like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. And starts drinking more and more and more and more and more. And eventually, this guy just starts to grow more and more and more and more and more and more. Eventually, just getting too big to the point where he can't even fit through normal doors anymore. And for some reason, he's not dying from the cholesterol, which is kind of concerning, not gonna lie. And he just keeps growing more and more and more. And then all of a sudden, this king has it already seems like this king has taken over the board. Oh my god, what the hell is going on?
He's too powerful.
He's way too powerful. I don't know what's happening anymore, guys. And then eventually he consumes the world, develops a gravity of his own, and he dies from oxygen deprivation because, no oxygen because no more planet. And anyway, somehow white wins. And with that tragic ending to this game and that king taking our world, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the game I created, be sure to tell your friends, and maybe try playing it for yourself. And as always, I hope every single one of you have a good day, and thank you for watching.